What's up, traders? Chris Capri, Seconds Guys Trading. Got a live trade set up for you here, AUDCAD. I am in this trade right now to show you my entry, my reasons for getting in the market, my stop loss, and my take profit. Really walk you through this whole trade. I'll show you how I trade with my own money in real time. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so we're gonna have to zoom out for a second here. And let's go to, I think it's a weekly. You need to step back because AUDCAD's making kind of a major move right now. All right. So now that we got that, let's zoom out just a little bit more. And then now it should become clear. Okay. So AUDCAD has been breaking down for quite a while. We've been talking about this with our members market commentary on our private channel. And so we've had this kind of major support here. Let me put up a nice line for this thing here. So kind of a support, 91.70, bounce here, and bounce makes the same highs, triple top here, actually quadruple top, but then the highs start to fade a little bit, so they get lower, and then we retest this again. We penetrated for the first time since 2010, and this bounce is weaker, and it just keeps weakening. We keep getting like lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Then we get to this particular low, and it's just a super weak bounce. Kind of just sells right through it, telling us that the sellers are saying, hey, like, we're not intimidated by this. We've already blown past this. We're going to sell aggressively in the face of this. And so keep in mind, other than this low and this low, AUDCAD hasn't been at this price where it is right now since talking, what was that, late 2010, late 29, early 2010. So we're talking 9 years it's been here. And most likely we've tripped some technical stops along the way, and those longs that we tripped their stops, they have to go short now. So let's zoom in a little bit more and take a look at what we're thinking here. Okay, so here's that kind of new significant low, weak bounce, and it just sells off aggressively. And keep in mind, this is a 4-hour chart. And there's only like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue candles in a total of, what are we looking at? I mean, we're talking from the 22nd all the way up to the 30th. So in 8 days, we've only had 40 hours of blue candles, and that's a lot of aggressive selling. And for those of you in my price action course, you can see the impulsive corrective structure, impulsive, corrective, impulsive, corrective, impulsive. And we broke through. We basically had no bounce off these lows here. There were nobody was coming in to push it up this time. It just faded super fast and then sold off. And so now that you kind of understand why, we've broken a major significant lows, there's weakening bounces on the long side, and the bears are coming in with more aggression and force. It's pretty obvious I want to get short. So I got in this morning, actually on this candle here. I would have loved to have gotten here. The market was here yesterday. And so, I felt like, okay, let's wait and let's see what happens. And so the market broke through it, hit it. I wake up this morning and I pretty much get the earliest price I can in this one. As soon as I see it breaking through, I was like, oh, I'm getting short. And so the most ideal entry, I got at 90.62. The most ideal entry would have been 90.73. But, by the time I got up, it was already past. And I felt like we were close enough where, we're only 10 pips away from it. And so, that's, to me, that's not a big a deal. If it was a day trade, that would be a big deal. But it's not a day trade. This is a swing trade. And so let's get into stop loss placement. And so why did I place my stop loss here? And so looking at the 1 hour chart, we definitely had to be above this line. I could have had a really tight aggressive stop loss above here, which should be above this little peak right here, and that's where the impulsive selling started when it broke through. And I think that'd be okay if you were doing like a short-term day trade. You're talking that's only 24 pips, and so I think that'd be a good one if you were doing a day trade. But for me, I'm looking for a much larger target, and so I need to give it a little bit more room. And so I wanted it to be above these kind of peaks here and just kind of above all this and this peak here. So I put it right over here. If I wanted to go really conservative, then I could just park it way up here. But to me, that's just that's such a wide stop that, really doesn't make much sense. Even though this is the start of the impulsive move that, broke this whole thing, Obviously, there's a lot of sellers here that are going to protect this because, I mean, they've already pushed it, roughly 200 pips, and they just didn't stop. So obviously there's going to be some orders here that are going to protect this, but to me, that's just too far away. And so I really didn't feel like I wanted to go that far. And if I'm correct, we had those other, so we had this spike here. So I put it above that. And so I felt like this was just a good place to put it. It gives me plenty of room. And to me, if the market comes back up here, then, it's only a 60 pip stop, roughly 65 pip stop. And I look at that, I'm like, okay, well, this is where the market I think shouldn't go if my trade idea is correct. I think the breakout's going to hold. I believe if it does break out, any pullbacks to here should hold. Maybe it'll go a little bit higher, but I don't really see it getting past this. And if it does, I'm wrong. And I'm okay with that. So that's what I'm looking at on AUDCAD. And again, a stop loss should always be placed based upon price action, context, structure, and where the market should not go if your trade idea is correct. So that's the kind of 3 golden rules for placing a stop loss. All right, so looking at targets, we have to zoom back out. And so let's take a look and see why I chose this target. So 86.90, that is what about, it's almost 400 pips. It's like 370 pips roughly. And so I'm looking at there we go. I'm looking at the market. It's probably going to target this bottom here. And so, yeah, I could get to here, but I think it's, I want to target a little bit above that. And so this is kind of where we see some good weekly actions holding there. I might close it a little bit shy, just about here, maybe about 87, 30, 40 or something like that. But I don't really see a whole lot stop in the AUDCAD right now. I think, yeah, this, it's 390 pips. That could take a while. Could take a week or two. Could take, if it sells off aggressively, it could be done in a few weeks, but could take several weeks, and I'm okay with that. So that's pretty much it in terms of my target, entry, stop loss, take profit, my reasoning for getting in, why I chose my stop loss location, why I got in this trade, why I was looking to do, and why I traded it. What's up, traders? Chris Capri, Seconds Guys Trading. Got an update for you on the AUDCAD trade. This is pretty much progressed as we had anticipated. As you recall from earlier in the video, we were short here about 90.62 and had our stop at 91.27. And so the market broke through, went in our favor for several hours, started to find some buyers come back, and went right to our entry level and location. Sellers came back, said, yeah, you're not getting past this. Buyers come back in. Look at the weakness in the bounce this time. So this one is maybe 8 hours and it gets up, and this one's just struggling to get up to the same area. And then one little spike here, and then bam, it sells off there. So this tells you that the location was really well defended, that the institutional players were definitely on this side of the market and positioned exactly where I happen to be short in this case here. And so you know that because the market never really got past that. So after 2 attempts, it just sold off each time. That tells you that the institutional players in the order flow was parked exactly at this level and saying, nuh-uh, you're not getting past this. And eventually the second time they sold it off super aggressive, and we haven't seen this since then. So right now we're up about, 126 pips, and we had about a 60 pip stop. So about plus 2.75 R at this point. I'm going to be taking some profit and adjusting the stop loss pretty soon on this one here, and locking in some more profit at this point, just to kind of show you what's going on right now real briefly. You can kind of see what's happening. We're getting this kind of squeeze lower here, and we have some short-term support, but the market sold off, formed a corrective structure, sold off really aggressively in the Asian session, spiked to about 89.20, and bounced decently. It's about a 60, 70, it's about a 60 pip bounce. But then the market just sold off again, and there's weak bounces, and it's just selling aggressively. So I'm expecting this to squeeze lower and most likely test this low within the day's session. And you might get a bounce here, but if that bounce is weak and doesn't break above this, then I expect it's going to continue to pressure lower as is. And so that's pretty much it. Trade pretty much working out exactly as we had anticipated. And this is the importance, this trade kind of highlights, just the entry kind of highlights the importance of premium trade locations, how to find those, how to read the price action context and order flow to discover those. And trade selection. Trade selection is a super important skill in trading. You know, which trades and charts you decide to trade make a difference. And those are done through skills, not just through patterns, but through skills. Skills that we teach in terms of reading price action, context, and the order flow behind it. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash the like button there and subscribe to our channel so you can get updates on videos like this as well. It really supports us, really helps out our channel, and supports us with the YouTube algorithms when you all like the videos and you sign up for our channel. So we appreciate that and thank you for that. And so if you want to learn more about how to trade like this and make trades like this, check out our website, secondsguysforex.com. This is strategy straight from our advanced price action course. And so I hope to see you there. Until then, good luck trading. I'll see you in the next video.